You owe it to yourself to focus on yourself. Hey baddies, welcome back to the Baddest You podcast, where every listen takes you to the baddest version of yourself. I am your baddie level up coach, Ambria Hearty, and today I am teaching you how to focus on yourself. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria Hearty. Follow the Baddest You podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. And let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. There is so much importance in focusing on yourself. So many people have so many reasons for doing so. Whether you just got out of a relationship or you're deciding I'm tired of where I'm at in life and I want a better new time period for myself, a new beginning, or maybe you're stepping into a new year like all of us are. It's so important to make sure that you're focusing on yourself. And I'm gonna give you guys 5 ways to do that today. The first way you guys are going to focus on yourselves is by having a daily routine. Now, I'm telling you, humans, we need a routine. I don't know how you can go throughout the day just going around and not having some sort of routine. I personally feel like I would go crazy. Having a daily routine is something that's going to create a sense of structure in our lives, and it helps us to be able to have boundaries and discipline to focus on things that we need to focus on. Doing things like waking up early and going to sleep earlier are things that are going to help you to focus on yourself. You're not going to be so worried about other people, situations. Having a daily routine in which you find yourself going to the gym or working on your business, right? Doing something where every day you're doing a meditation in the morning, something where you're following a structured routine that it could shift from day to day, but some type of foundation of like a morning routine, an evening routine, or just a daily routine. This is gonna keep you focused, this is gonna keep you grounded, and this is gonna keep yourself the top priority. My routine in a regular day looks like waking up, meditating, doing my affirmations or yoga, going to the gym, and then doing a daily walk. Then I'll get back, shower, eat some breakfast, and then I'll start getting ready for the day. I'll do my work for the day, do my business, do my schooling, all of the work stuff. By the end of the day, I'll do my shower routine, budget my money for the day, my earnings for the day because I have my own business, and then eat dinner and probably go to sleep within 2 or 3 hours after that, but I'll take that as leisure or self-care time. That's something that I do every day, and it keeps me structured, it keeps me focused on my goals, focused on myself, and it keeps myself the top priority. And it doesn't really give too much room to worry about other things, people, emotions, situations, whatever. It gives me the space to prioritize myself, and it's something that I've been doing for so long now, and I could say that my life has made a complete 180 since starting a routine. My body's changed, my mental health is better, and I highly encourage you guys to have a routine of your own, whether it's a daily routine or evening routine, because this is going to keep you focused on yourself as your top priority. So the next way you're going to focus on yourself is by investing in your level up. Okay, investing in that level up, baddie. I always say you should always be striving to be a better version of yourself, all right? Because you attract what you are, and how can you attract better if you're not being better? So whether this is genuinely having some type of exercise routine, I personally like to work out in my private gym downstairs in my building, but you can do yoga, you can go to Pilates classes, you can go for a daily walk. I think everybody should invest in some form of strength training. It's so important for the bones, for the muscles, for the body long term. But yeah, have some type of balance of a workout. You could work out at home. Looking at YouTube videos are great. I like Mad Fit personally. She's awesome. I started out watching her when I was in the beginning of my exercise journey. But make sure you guys have some type of physical exercise just for half an hour to an hour a day. This is so important. I like to do Monday through Fridays during the week. That helps me because when I first wake up, I'm listening to self-development content while working out, and it keeps me in a focused, intentional, focused on myself mindset, and I'm adding to myself. My body's looking better long term, I'm feeling better long term, and also it's just a great way to like cleanse your mental as well. Like, love working out. It makes me feel like a complete new woman at the end of every workout. So make sure you guys are having some form of an exercise routine. Next is eating healthy, right? I actually am getting better at this. I'm doing Uber Eats a lot nowadays because I have a lot to do and I'm very busy, focused in and out the house, stuff like that. But make sure you guys have some type of like healthy eating routine. I used to meal prep. I'm going to get back into that soon. Having some idea of what you're going to eat during the week and just not ordering out all the time, being intentional with eating fruits and vegetables, being intentional with drinking 8 glasses of water, 64 ounces of water, or a gallon of water a day, right? To each their own. It's so important to make sure that you're fueling your body with healthy foods, because if not, you're going to feel so groggy. You're going to feel like sickish. You're going to feel tired. Literally what we eat is fueling us, and those carbs give you energy, right? So make sure you guys are eating healthy. Do your research. I'm not a nutritionist myself, but there's so many nutritionists you can find online, TikTok, articles, stuff like that, so that you can be able to educate yourself on what you're putting into your body. You can also invest in your level up by focusing on self-development content, whether this is like following self-development on TikTok, on Instagram, or following the Baddest You podcast, checking me out once a week. I personally, like I said earlier, I like to listen to self-development content every single time I'm in the gym. Like that's the time for me to do it. I used to listen to music during my workouts, but I started to listen to podcasts, my podcast specifically, but I also started to listen to YouTubers and self-development surrounding financial level up, surrounding being the prize in dating, feminine energy tips. I also listen to like self-concept, self-development, stuff like that. Like it makes me feel so empowered, and I'm like starting each day with a new mindset, and it helps me enter into the day knowing my worth, feeling on top of my game, and focusing on myself in ways that help me to add into other endeavors in my life. You can also level up your style, your wardrobe, try a new makeup look, think about what you want to look like, all right? Kind of envision the best version of yourself and start heading in that direction overall. This is an excellent way to focus on yourself because you need all of your energy to invest in this new version of yourself. This can also be a new lifestyle as well, but overall, focus on being a better you. What nail style do you want to have? What kind of woman do you see yourself being? What does she look like? What is her life like? Like really start focusing on who you're becoming, because this will give you the permission to stop focusing on things that are not adding to you so that you can have the energy to focus fully on yourself. The next step in focusing on yourself is focusing on your goals, your career, the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself. This can look like starting your business finally, winking at you right now. This is a sign. This can also look like making sure you're on top of your game in your classes. If you are in school, I'm actually back in school myself. I'm a business major and I love to be on top of my game in my classes. It makes me feel so good. You can also find yourself just focusing on the work that you have to do, whether you work a 9-to-5 or whether you work a waitress job, whatever it is. Making sure you're investing in your financials is super important and an amazing way to focus on yourself. Everybody should be learning financial literacy. Everybody should have some type of goal in terms of what lifestyle they want to head to, or focusing on some type of bigger vision, whether it's like a vision board, being intentional. Everybody should be making a vision board at this time of year right now. I'll be making a podcast episode about 2024, stepping into New Year's soon, but you should be making a vision board, or at least have a vision board by now that you're looking at so you're clear on who you want to become and the goals you've set out for yourself. My vision board has a woman that just freshly graduated on there. It has the dream car that I want to drive on there. It has the Grammy or the Oscar that I want to win on there. It has all of the amazing things and long-term goals that I'm setting out for myself on there. So when I'm doing my day-to-day, instead of me focusing on this person did this situation, I'm focusing on my bigger visions and the goals that I have set out for myself and the version of myself that I want to become. This podcast as well is a huge part of the goals I've set out for myself. If I'm not posting a podcast episode, I will not grow. I will not be able to share this amazing message with my baddie watching right now. So it's so important to make sure that I'm focusing on my goals, who I want to become long-term, the lifestyle that I want to create for myself. This also resonates with artistic goals. If you're an artist, are you creating your music? Are you posting your content? These things are so important as well. If you're not investing and taking action in a certain direction, you will not see growth there. You can't just expect it to show up one day, right? That is why it's so great, because you're actually adding to yourself long term, but also giving yourself permission to not focus on things that are around you that could serve as distractions. And this can also look like you focusing on what you want in your dating life, having certain standards and boundaries with relationships around you. Like this is so important because as you're investing in your level up, investing in your goals, investing in who you're becoming, your lifestyle, all of the above, it helps you to have better boundaries for yourself so that you stop accepting less than you deserve. And so it's like a time period after focusing on yourself, you come out this new person, leveled up, looking good, new boundaries, and people who you've dealt with before quite literally don't even have access to you anymore. So it's so important to make sure that you're prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your well-being, prioritizing focus on your goals, things like that, because that's helped you to grow into the best you while also giving you permission not to focus on things that are no longer serving you in the process. This can also resonate, baddies, like where do you want to live in a year? What location you want to be at? Do you have a car? Like make sure you just have the concrete, like you're taking concrete steps to add to the life that you want to create for yourself. And so it's not just a vision in your head, because people who are too focused on other people are not hitting goals, are not focused on the things they want to do. They're not creating anything for themselves. And we are not those types of people. We are baddies, focus on our level ups, focus on ourselves, and focus on being the absolute baddest version of ourselves. Next up, when it comes to focusing on yourself, is being intentional about your spiritual maintenance and your well-being. Okay. This is so important. This is like consistent meditations, investing in yoga practices, taking the time to do affirmations, taking the time to journal, taking the time to even try to seek out therapy, being still, being present with yourself, investing in self-care practices. This can even be like doing an in-depth shower routine, trying a face mask, doing skincare, just being present with your spirit and your soul and your internal world just as much. Like, I feel like this is probably one of the main reasons why people need to focus so much on the world around them, on TikTok, on things like that, on being too much on their phones, because they're not connected to their inner world. And if you take the time to do what you need to do to maintain your spiritual well-being, you will find yourself feeling deeply connected, deeply at peace, and deeply rooted within. This will make you feel more comfortable with being in your own energy. So you guys can actually check out on my Instagram or TikTok bio, I have a Baddie Energy Resource tab over there where I have the best podcasts, playlists, affirmation tracks, and meditations that I created on a Google Doc, free one-stop shop for all my baddies. Go check it out because it has great sleep affirmations, great meditations, Baddie Energy meditations that I love. It's going to be excellent. It's going to be at Ambria on TikTok or on Instagram. So go check it out over there if you want to find even my favorite meditations. But I highly recommend the self-love meditation. It is in a Baddie Energy Resource tab, so make sure you check it out over there. But I love to do a self-love meditation when I first wake up. It just makes me feel so grounded, so empowered. You can also invest in yoga practices, get your massage done, take time for yourself. This will also be helpful with stepping into your divine femininity as well, slowing down, taking time for self-care. This is going to be so helpful because we can't just focus all our time on working all the time. It's all about balance. The fifth thing, all right, that I like to do that helps me to focus on myself, that it's going to also help you guys to focus on yourself, spending more time alone, just spending more time getting comfortable with your own energy. And this could be taking yourself on solo dates. This can also be treating yourself, buying yourself flowers, loving yourself in the 5 love languages, like having a relationship with yourself. Overall, taking care of you. This is so imperative, so important, because this is the part that's actually going to fulfill you. Because a lot of times when we're by ourselves, people aren't actually doing anything. You're not doing any activities. You're sitting with yourself, scrolling on TikTok. This isn't really going to serve us. Take the time to understand yourself, to get to know yourself, to connect with yourself. You can even do like inner child healing during this time, shadow work journaling. Just like take the time needed to give yourself the attention that you so deserve. And this is going to help you to fill up your cup more often, which also ties in with my 6th one that I added in, which is spend less time on your phone, or just spend less time on social media, or at least be very intentional with who you follow. Unfollow all the people who do not resonate with you, who make you feel jealous or make you feel pressure to be somewhere you're not in life. Anybody who makes you feel uncomfortable, who doesn't add to you, things that don't resonate with you, things that trigger you, let that go. Do a social media cleanse on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your Twitter, on your Snapchat. This could be people from high school that you don't want to see anymore, do not resonate with. Let them go. It's not serving you. And just make sure that you guys are letting your social media be something that adds to you. I mentioned earlier about seeking out self-development content. If you look at my social media or my TikTok at least, you will see it's all like gym stuff, eating healthy, mindset stuff, financial level up stuff. Like that's all I'm looking for when I'm online. And because that's what I'm seeking out, that's what's constantly on my For You page. So be intentional, right? Have boundaries with what you're adding to yourself. One thing that my grandfather used to say growing up, he'd have the song. It'd be like, oh, be careful little eyes what you see. Right? Like what you're seeing is what you will eventually become. So you don't want to just look at stuff all the time about someone from like a completely different body type and ethnicity and lifestyle who's like here and like you don't resonate with them in any way. Look at somebody who looks like you or at least looks like the version of yourself that you strive to be. This is going to make you feel so empowered, give you the motivation to be a better version of yourself. And this is going to be something that helps you to completely focus on you so that you can be the you that you were meant to be. Just remember, baddies, you owe it to yourself to focus on yourself, whether this is just a short time period or this is something you're going to do over a long period of time and you want to make it a new thing of focusing on yourself on a regular basis. Make sure you guys do this for you and understand that all you truly need in this lifetime is you and the divine, okay? You are safe and protected at all times. You are so deserving of the best. As long as you have yourself, you have the key to the world that you are stepping into. So thank you guys so much for joining me today on the Baddest You podcast. Make sure you guys follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. Check out the Baddest You podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. And thank you guys so much for joining me for your ultimate baddie level up. I'm your host, Ambria Harty, and I will see you guys on next week's episode of The Baddest You. Bye, baddies!